What's up everyone, and welcome back to TV Box Top. My name is Nick and welcome to today's review of an exciting release from the developers of Mecool. This is the Mecool KM1 Android TV OS TV box. This latest release boasts of delivering features such as Chromecast, Google Assistant, 4K HDR Ultra HD display running on Amlogic S905X3 hardware. It is said to deliver true Google certification and will play premium streaming services such as Amazon Prime in HD and 4K quality. So up next, I have a full review of this latest model along with benchmarks and live demonstrations, so stay tuned, you have that after this. So I'm back and this is the box. And I must say that the labeling of this box is very encouraging as it's printed with all the features of a fully certified Google Android TV OS TV box, and it gives a high quality feel to what's inside. So without further ado, I'll unpack its contents and let's see what's in the box. So in the box, there is nothing out of the ordinary. You have the KM1 TV box itself, a wireless remote with voice command features, one HDMI cable, a 5V 2A DC power adapter, and a user's manual. Let's take a look at its design and its input-output peripherals. The body is made of plastic with a leatherette pattern under the surface that looks like real leatherette, but it's not. It's hard plastic that looks pretty cool with the Mecool branding printed on it. The rear ports consist of one HDMI port, one Ethernet LAN port, one audio-video port, and a DC power input. The right side consists of one USB 3.0 port, one USB 2.0, and a micro SD card reader. The left side is blank. To the front, you have a glowing LED power light. And below the box, you have lots of cooling vents. I will now connect it to my 4K TV and a capture card and continue. Okay, so the box is connected. And the first boot up wizard takes at least 4 minutes to complete, and once completed, you are taken to the Android TV OS launcher. The Mecool KM1 runs on Android 9Pie TV OS, and it's a fully certified operating system, and it has all the native features such as Google Assistant and Chromecast, and I will test these features during this video, but in the meantime, let's look at the rest of its features. Under advanced settings, you have your display settings, and you have 4K display up to 2160p at 60Hz. The HDR option is turned on by default. How do I know this? Well, I've already tested it, and the HDR icon appears on the LG TV when I play an HDR video sample, so there are no settings in this menu. I also see that Dolby Vision is disabled and the option is grayed out, so there may be an issue where that is concerned. You have screen position settings. And you even have a built-in screen rotation feature. You have HDMI CEC settings and digital audio output settings. So the KM1 comes pre-installed with these apps, and in this list there is no Miracast or Netflix, simply because this box does not have official Miracast or Netflix ESN certification, and this has nothing to do with Google's certification. It's just that Mecool does not have the permission from Netflix to use the official version of their app after a mishap a few years ago with their M8S Pro L model, so I will have to use the APK version in this video. They have also pre-installed one Android Shadowgun game. I will now install some additional apps and continue. So I'm back, and let's look at its system and hardware information. The KM1 comes with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of internal storage, from which this is the remainder after the Android installation and all of the apps currently installed. It comes with Bluetooth version 4.2 according to the product description. The CPU is the Amlogic S905X3 CPU, which is a quad-core ARM Cortex-A55 CPU clocked at 1.9 GHz on a 64-bit instruction set configured in 32-bit mode. The box only has support for 32-bit ABIs, which means it can only run 32-bit applications. Its display is powered by the Mali G31 GPU with a refresh rate of 60Hz and OpenGLES version 3.2, which is good for gaming. It has support for both 2.4 and 5 GHz Wi-Fi. The operating system is Android 9 Pie, and here it shows that the box is not rooted. The box runs between 40 and 55 degrees under normal room temperature, and it can range between 60 and 75 degrees under heavy activity. It comes with all the codecs needed for the playback of 4K videos with Dolby and DTS audio formats. And that's it for system and hardware information, and let's now take a look at its benchmarks. First, I have the results from the test performed on the RAM copy speed and the internal storage read and write speeds. The Mecool KM1 has a RAM copy speed of 3254 megabytes per second, and the internal storage has a read speed of 144 megabytes per second and a write speed of 92. These scores are good scores for this box. Next, I have the results of the Wi-Fi and Ethernet LAN speed test. In this test, the box was able to hit the maximum speed of my internet package of 100 megabits per second on the 5 GHz band only. The 2.4 band fell slightly below by 10%, which is actually pretty good compared to other boxes. And the Ethernet LAN port from these results indicate that the LAN port is not a gigabit LAN port, as it fell below by 60%. So for the best broadband speeds, use the 2.4 and the 5 GHz band. And now for the Antutu benchmark, the one score that I used to rank TV boxes on my chart. The Mecool KM1 got an Antutu score of 76,718. This is a pretty good score, and in just a moment you will see where it places on my chart. Next is the results of the Geekbench for CPU benchmark, the app that performs a series of single-core and multi-core timed tasks on a box's CPU. And the faster the box completes these tasks, the higher the score. So after all was complete, the Mecool KM1 got a score of 808 single core and 2118 multi-core. These are also very good scores for this box. The final scores are the results of the 3D Mark Gamers Bench Graphics Benchmark, the app that performs a series of tests, each tailored to a particular class of graphics processors, and is a good indicator of how well a TV box will perform at playing graphics-intensive games. In this test, the Mecool KM1 got a score of 5,404 in the Ice Storm Extreme test and 505 in the Slingshot test. These are some decent scores, and it should do well in some Android games. And this concludes the benchmark segment, and let's now see where it places on my chart. So after updating the scores, the Mecool KM1 took position number 10 in reference to Antutu scores, placing it among the top 10 TV boxes on my chart for 2020. You can view this chart on my website in full spreadsheet format, where you can interact with it and compare various scores. You can also compare prices between other TV boxes and between various sellers. So see the link in the description area below this video. During this segment, I will check its streaming and casting capabilities. First, I will check the root state of the box. It shows that the box is not rooted, running on Android 9 Pie. And this is a good thing because it facilitates the use of premium streaming services that require this feature, along with proper Google certification and protection. Next, I show its DRM or Digital Rights Management information. It shows that the Mecool KM1 has Google Widevine Level 1 with HDCP 2.2 protection. This is also a critical feature of TV boxes that has the ability to run premium streaming services such as Netflix and Amazon Prime Video. However, in spite of having this feature, Netflix certification was not included on this box due to a dispute of some sorts between Mecool and Netflix. Staying on the subject of Netflix, I installed the APK version and it works, but only in basic 480p quality. And this is an illustration showing it that no HD or digital audio icons appear in the description. On the other hand, Amazon Prime Video does not have this issue, and due to Google's certification and DRM protection, it can play movies in HD quality. This also means that if you live in the US that has exclusive access to other premium streaming services such as Sling TV, you will be able to watch movies in HD quality. However, if you are not located in the US, you can still enjoy premium HD quality. Mecool KM1 comes with a wireless voice remote to use with a Google Assistant feature, so I'll do a quick demonstration. What's the weather in Miami, Florida?
Currently in Miami it's 76 degrees and cloudy. The forecast tonight is 77 degrees with a thunderstorm.
What's the time in Miami, Florida?
The time in Miami, Florida, USA is 9:23 p.m. on Sunday.
Open Google Chrome.
Opening Google Chrome, fast and secure.
Close Google Chrome. Open Amazon Prime Video.
Opening Amazon Video.
Close Prime Video. Increase volume.
Sure.
So there you have it, and it works okay. As mentioned earlier, the Mecool KM1 features Chromecast, and I'll now do a live demonstration. So this brings to an end the casting segment, and I'll now move on to the 4K video playback and digital audio playback segment.
and only a win for Barca would be enough, because it would give them the same number of points as Atletico, but the head-to-head goal difference is what being sung as referee Mateo Laoz prizing presence on the bench as well. Atletico playing in yellow, Barca in their traditional red and blue. Barca, Alves in a bit of space. Adriano shoots, it's a typical Adriano shot, unable to.
The videos played without issues, and I recorded the HDR icon appearing on the screen. You won't see it because I'm using a capture card before the TV. I now move on to the Dolby Atmos, DTS audio, THX, and Dolby True HD, HDMI audio pass-through tests.
Juries, executioners, judges.
Welcome to the inside of your head.
This is the left channel.
So from this test, it shows that the Mecool KM1 has Dolby Atmos, DTS audio and THX. However, it does not have Dolby True HD. Some viewers were asking about the model of this receiver and where they can find it. So I placed a link in the description area below this video where you can get it at the lowest price. For my final test, I will sideload some of my favorite Android games that I know will work on this operating system that doesn't require gamepad key mapping, as key mapping will not work on this box due to the fact that it's not rooted.
Let's roll. Plenty! Sleep tight!
The games played okay, the graphics was of a high quality and the box did not overheat. In summary, the Mecool KM1 has all of the right ingredients of a great TV box. It has great hardware that runs on Android TV OS. It's fully Google certified to run premium streaming services. It's great for 4K video playback with digital audio, and it plays Android games really well. However, there's this one thing that may be a deal breaker for a lot of potential customers, and that is, despite being Google certified and having these great features, it cannot play Netflix in HD and 4K